Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is Adil Sabir here with the major subject organizational behavior. Today we are going to discuss the first lecture of organizational behavior. Dear students, I shall try my level best to cover more and more topics within a single lecture. नो सुबह कोशिश था करूँ कि ज़्यादा न ज़्यादा कंटेंट चले जगह लेक्चरों के कवर करूँ और जिस सिचुएशन था सो थोड़ा पता था नो तो मैं हतमन कोशिश कदाई कि सूरा हम कंटेंट ज़्यादा लेक्चर के कवर कवले शमा अब इंशाल्लाह कवर करूँ और दे पारा कि कम बुक मारे फर्क करे दे नो मेहरबानी हो गई था सुधा दो बुक्स उगुरी यो दे one is known as organizational behavior by Robbins and Judge and another is organizational behavior Stephen P. Robbins and Seema Sangi. द्वारा हम चिकम बुक्स दी इंशाल्लाह के साथ कोर्स आउटलाइन चिकम दे आगा कवर की both books they can definitely cover your course outline. Now we will move to the roadmap of the course. Roadmap of the course simply means that what we will cover in the whole course of OB. We will cover total the number one, the introduction to OB. The our next section, the introduction to OB, जिदे के बमुंगा mostly OB पे बारे के discussion करूँ ची OB subject days and what comes under the OB. After that, we will discuss the next, that is employee behavior and job satisfaction. देखें, we will study mostly employee behavior and types of employee behavior, and then we will move to the next variable, that is job satisfaction. And we will discuss that what are the different components or factors lead to the job satisfaction. After that, the next roadmap will be personality traits. देखिए बमुंगा mostly personality पर बारे के बहुत थ्योरी गाने हुई कि आया कम personalities दी and what are the different traits in those personalities and what are the different types of those personalities and motivational theories. Like for example, motivation theory, types of motivation, what basically motivates, what are the different theories of motivation like theories X, theory Y, etc. After that, we will discuss the organization structure, the organizational change, the components of organization change, ethics, justice, fairness treatments, and leadership. We will discuss under the concept of leadership, what is leadership and what are the different types and theories of leadership and their power and politics and impact of power and politics over the organization. Then we will discuss the organizational structure. Organization structure, we will discuss the formal organization, the informal organization, the span of management, the authority relationship, etc. And the last but not the least, that is HR practices. We will discuss different HR practices, like for example staffing, recruitment, hiring, firing, turnover, etc. Let's move to the next slide. What are the different topics we will cover in this lecture? कोशिश बताई चलिए कि most of the contents cover come inshallah. We will start from the managers, that who are the managers, what basically do inside the organization, what is organizational behavior, systematic study of OB, define or identify the contributions made by the different disciplines with respect to the OB, and the challenges faced by the OB concept. Now the total our topics थी जिसको कोशिश करूँ कि इंशाल्लाह दे लेक्चर के ज़िता सोला clear करूँ. Dear students, I shall try my level best to speak in English as well as in Pashto. Further, कम बुक चिमा तासुला recommend करी दी नो तासु कोशिश करूँ कि further guidelines से बारा अगर book न तासु इस्तेफादा हो गई. I have recommended you some books, and I shall try my level best to explain or give you the idea in the slides, but for further studies you must have to prefer those books. You have to study those books for further guidelines. जब कोशिश को मैं इंशाल्लाह जब कंटेंट चले अगर सादा अल्फाज की तशरीह कमा बकाया चिकम दे अब सासो हपल इंशाल्लाह कोशिश को चे बुक ना इस्तेफादा हो गई. Let's start from the first slide. What managers do. टोलो ना पहला what basically manager is. Yeah, who is a manager? Sometimes manager is known as administrator. Simply stated, who is manager? Individuals who achieve goals through other people. Because the norm sadal fast kida explain kama, managers are the people that they get things done through other people. What managers do? Managers basically do or make decisions, allocate resources, and direct the activities of others to attain goals. Managers do their work in the organizations. उस organization से दे organization simply your platform. Organization is a platform. There variety of people come together, work together for the achievement of some specified goals. According to this definition, the definition says a consciously coordinated social unit composed of two or more people that functions on a relatively continuous basis to achieve a common goal or a set of goals. Delta your level it is a social unit. Now what does it mean? Organization organization your social unit. What does it mean social unit? Let me explain. Social unit. Or a social unit matlab da hai you das a platform which comes as different variety of people, diverse people rush sara karo ki. That's mean I'm talking about organization platform as the platform. A social platform that where variety of people with variety of skills come together, work together for the attainment of specified goals. That is simply known as your organization. Now we will move to the next, which is known as, sorry, it's not working. Let me check. In the next slide, that is about the management functions. There's a Rawaniyama which already does use the management ke hum, HR ke hum, so therefore I'm just going to give you a slight touch about those concepts. Management functions. What is management functions? Management functions simply mean managerial activities. The actions performed by the managers inside the organizations are simply known as your management functions. Now, us manageran kam karuna ki generally. Manageran planning ki, organizing ki, leading ki, controlling ki. Generally speaking, what is planning? Because generally planning explain kama, no planning is making yourself ready for the future in advance. Sadhal fastly. That is simply known as planning. Because the bookish definition point of view sarasasula planning explain kama, no planning is planning is simply a process that includes defining goals, establishing methods, means strategies, and developing plans to coordinate activities. After that, we will move to the organizing. That is organizing. Here, okay. Next is organizing. Organizing in the simple words, organizing simply means seasonal tartib workawal, to give order to the things. Simple stated. Bookish point of view, what is organizing? Organizing simply means determining what tasks are to be done, who is to do them, and how the tasks are to be grouped, who reports to whom, and where decisions are to be made. That is simply known as your organizing. Now, after that, we have another function which is known as leading. That is the next, leading. Leading simply to lead someone, to supervise someone, give guidelines to someone. With proper definition of leading, leading is a function, a managerial function that includes motivating employees, directing employees, and selecting the most effective communication channels or patterns and resolving the conflicts or issues of the people. This simply process is known as leading process. Next, the last but not the least managerial function, that is known as controlling. Controlling is monitoring activities to ensure that they are being accomplished as planned and correcting any significant deviation. सादा अल्फाज के कंट्रोलिंग से कंट्रोलिंग आगा मॉनिटरिंग एक्टिविटी दा चे कम के मैनेजरान दा गुरी चे आया व्हाट इज हैपनिंग एंड व्हाट वी प्लान आया दे तर मंथ के से चेंज था का दे तर मंथ के से चेंज नष्टा if there is a change between the plan and the actual performance, so then the managers take the corrective action. This process of controlling this process of supervision is simply known as controlling process. In this slide we have another topic, that is Mintzberg's managerial roles. Mintzberg's, this is the name of the person, the name of the philosopher who introduces this theory. Mintzberg's managerial roles. In I think 1960s, that was Mintzberg's a student of MIT. The full name was Henry Mintzberg. He introduces that executive roles, variety of executive roles are basically performed by the managers in their jobs. So he categorizes all the roles into three different categories. One was known as interpersonal role, next was known as your informational role, and the third that was known as your decisional roles. Now let's start from the first, interpersonal role. What is interpersonal role? Let me explain the meaning of first interpersonal role, that what does it mean, interpersonal role. First of all, I'm going to explain the word interpersonal, that what does it mean. Here, interpersonal. Look at here, inter and personal. Interpersonal means connections interlinked between the people. So management, that role of managers which create interlink among or between the people. Now interpersonal role was divided, categorized into three sub roles. Number one, figurehead. Number two, leader, and number three, liaison, or sometimes liaison. Figurehead. Figurehead simply means the icon representative of the organization. Like for example, for example, when the president of a college hands out diplomas at commencement, or factory supervisor gives a group of let's suppose school students a tour of the plant. Such representation of the management or such activity is considered as a figurehead. देना अलावा the next is leader. उसमें तासुला explain करो कि leader से दे leader is responsible for the motivation and direction of the employees. The management activity or the manager's activity that where they supervise the people and they direct the people and they motivate the people. Such activity is known as your leadership activity. The last but not the least, that is liaison. What is liaison? Maintains a network of outside contacts who provide favors and information. Like for example, the sales manager who obtains information from the quality control manager in his or her own company has an internal liaison relationship. उसका अंदर manager बाहर से for example कसानोना से information आकली, so that is acting as an external liaison. So that activity is simply known as your liaison activity. Now we will move to the next slide. Next slide then, next category that is informational. What is informational? By the name it is clear, informational, that activity that where the managers transform information from one point to another point. Such activity is known as informational role of the managers. Now informational roles contains the variety of different categories. One is known as monitor, another is known as your disseminator, and the last is known as spokesperson. Now what is monitor? As it is stated, receives wide variety of information, serve as nerve center of internal and external information of the organization. Simply stated, it means that they get information by reading magazines and talking with other people to learn of changes in the public taste, what competitors may be planning, and they alive. Such activity is known as monitor role. After that, we have the next, which is known as your disseminator. Now, disseminator, simply stated, what is disseminator? Transmit information received from outsiders or from other employees to members of the organization. मतलब disseminator mean spreading the information from the external bodies to the internal bodies. Like for example, उस HEC दे हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन 10 नवे रूल या नवे पॉलिसी एजुकेशन के लॉन्च की न उस HEC ने चाहिए कस राजी और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दन्ना यूनिवर्सिटी तक कम इंफॉर्मेशन स्प्लिट कई हल कोला इफर एम्प्लॉइज ला that person is simply known as your disseminator. After that we have spokesperson. Next is the spokesperson. Spokesperson सादा अल्फाज के simply stated that is known as your translator. So it should transmit information to outsider on organization plans, policies, action. अगर कस to come on the behalf of the organization बाहर खल्को सर खल्क mean we are talking about the public, we are talking about the media. No media money briefing कही organization policies explain कही बाहर खल्को दे पारा, that person is providing information on the behalf of the organization to the external public. Such person is known as your spokesperson. Next thing, decisional role. Decisional role by itself simply mean decision oriented role. Now decisional role is basically categorized into 4 different categories. Number 1, that is entrepreneur. अब what is entrepreneur? सादा अल्फाज के entrepreneur managers initiate and oversee new projects that will improve the organizational performances is simply known as entrepreneur. Entrepreneur आकसी चिकम organization दे पारा new opportunities गोरी चित्सरंग के business extend कीगी और कवलेशी. Such activity of the manager is simply known as your entrepreneur. Next is disturbance handler. As by the name it is clear, responsible for corrective actions when organization faces important unexpected disturbances. मतलब चिकला हम organization या management unforeseen problems face कई नो आगा कस चिकम दा unforeseen problems identify कई और दे पर solution रूबासी. Such person is simply known as disturbance handler. Resource allocator, simple stated, आगा manager या आगा कस या आगा मौसूल चिकम organization दे पर resources collect कई arrange कई. Like for example, human resource collect कई, physical resources, even monetary resources collect कई या arrange कई. Such is known as your resource allocator. And the last, negotiator, responsible for representing the organization at major negotiations. Thus the manager performs a negotiation role in which they discuss issues and bargain with other units to gain advantages for their own unit. Such arcas come unit here mean we are talking about department. Department de para come profitable सोच लरी और कोशिश की चप्पल department positive age worky. Such person or such activity of a manager or function of a manager is known as negotiator. Now in this slide we are talking about management skills. Us management skills, first of all let me explain the concept of skills. The skill set over. Okay. What is skill? Skill is simply stated competency. Skill simply that is known as competency, and competency means tasu maharat. This slide asal hadaf dada che aya come managers see what are the essential skills required for those managers. Though basically there are so many skills, categorically these skills are technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. Now let's start one by one in detail that what does it mean. Number 1, we are going to discuss that is technical skill. Technical skill simply means the ability to apply specialized knowledge or expertise. It means technical skills of management is managers are those skills that they should be proficient and they have the extensive knowledge about their phenomena or about their methodology. Like this is example that suppose you doctor de अगर 10 डॉक्टर की जगह हार्ट स्पेशलाइज्ड करते No, he has a more extensive knowledge clear in the heart surgery. Das in nishi ki de چې یو ډاکټر چې کوم هارت سپیشلایزډ کس دی هغه چې دی نو بل اعضا تاسو لا اپریشن وکړي نو بیکاز هی هیز ا ټیکنیکالity in his own field, he has a proficiency in his own field. So therefore this special skill is known as technical skill. دینا علاوه take the example of a computer programmer. ګوره یو computer programmer چې کوم دی هغه یو کله هم چې کوډینګ کوي مطلب یو سافټویر چې انکوډ کوي هغه د لپاره چې کوم ساينټکس لیکي نو صرف کمپیوټر پروګرامر په پوهیدی شي چې آیا هغه کې کم یو ایررز دي بگز دي نو کله هم چې هغه ایگزیکیوټ کوي خپل پروګرام so he has the ability to dig out that what are the different bugs. This specialty to dig out the different bugs is known as your technical skill. After that we have human skill. Now what is human skill? The ability to work with, understand and motivate other people both individually and in groups. In a very simple words, human skills human skills simply means interpersonal skills. Yeah, communication skills. Our skills managerano with the help of that they can make interaction loops with the people. They can better communicate their messages with the people and they can coordinate the people with the proper communication. Such skill is known as your human skill. Last, conceptual skill. What is conceptual skill? Well, here the mental ability to analyze and diagnose complex situations. Simply mean conceptual skill that is simply known as your diagnostic skill. Diagnostic skill simply means the complex situations handle skill. That skill of the managers that where manageran چې کوم complex situations دی هغه handle کولی شي ساده الفاظ کې decision making skill. That is simply known as conceptual skill. چې آیا یو منیجر کې څومره decision making skills دي څومره هغه problem identify کولی شي after that different alternatives generate کولی شي بیا different alternatives ترمنځ کې study کولی شي evaluate کولی شي which one. Thank you so much. This was end of the first lecture. Rest of the contents we will cover inshallah in the second lecture. Thank you so much.